Tower of God Season 2 Review Part 8 The Hidden Floor. Really now, SIU, you're gonna drop bombs after bombs before I can even take a breath. The revelations and prophecies that were given on the floor of death wasn't enough. Now you spice it up some more with this arc. The sheer surprises and shocks were bound to make my hair fall off even more, though they have already started to abandon me. I always start with a brief summary, so here is one. After the initial madness on the floor of death, we come face to face with even more madness. Our characters split up between, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 teams. Again, always start with the split ups in every arc. We finally find out about our boy Rag that he is alive, but a naughty Hansung Yu data come up too. He had made promises with Khun Edwan, Papa Khun, to aid Bam when he comes here, and that's to fight young Jahad, who just looks exactly like Wang Nan. Jahad further stepped into the realm of a bad guy as his misdeeds in the data world was shown. Bam gets a quality trainee, further giving him absurd level power as he gets to fight Jahad. Gastang's Stingray managed to snatch what holds the power to defeat Jahad, and what to say, King Jahad has finally made an official entrance, the most influential and the most important figure, not just in the story, but in the whole Tower of God universe if I say so. I'll go into the details now as there is a fair amount to explore. As the teams are separated by the mysterious scale at the beginning of this arc, the characters are supposed to end up at their destined places. Khun and Hockney reunites with Rag, and I missed my boy too. That comic relief again sprouts with his presence. They join Boro and Sachi to complete some fake quests orchestrated by the seemingly evil big breeders. We'll get to it a bit later as now we focus on Bam and Endorsi. They both ended up in the quarantine area where the outcast of the area end up in. And hey, that coffee maker is finally here. He boasts with the cheekiness of a young jackass and somehow already knew that they were coming. He had some connections with V as it was shown during his narration, but I remind you, this is way before he was even a ranker. He was just a D rank regular, just like Bam. So I'm sure he's hiding a lot of secrets for us to know in the future too. There is a tragic tale that follows with the trapped characters in the prison named Fruit of Good and Evil. They are simply data humans who were created to aid or govern this world, but because of the Big Breeders conspiracy, they are casted out and get killed / revived every time a new batch of regulars enter and complete the fake quest. Later, many of them get killed by Endorsi's sworn enemy. It was to be noted that Endorsi's backstory gets a bit messy as it was somewhat changed, or to be more correctly, upgraded. I have no problem with that. Bam's sworn enemy ends up being himself from the time when Fuck trained him. It was the lonely side of him that was afraid to lose his precious things. A good way to show us that Bam's growth till now is incredible. But don't ruin that by making him absorb it. Why does he keep absorbing everything, man? It's funny as well as annoying. Moving on, we learned the secrets of the hidden that is hidden on the hidden floor. Jahad made this data world with the help of a mysterious mirror from the workshop and made the data version of him and his companions. It was the same time as Bam and his companions clearing the Hell Train, but this data world, which had become its own living microorganism, was copied once more by another hidden mirror, as Jahad wanted to keep his and his companions separate from the future regulars who cleared the Hell Train. For some reason, only Khun Edwan and young Jahad's data has remained as of this day. Maybe it's a plot device to make us anticipate more with the whole 10 Great Family Leaders introductions, maybe not. But I do believe that it would have been better if the younger versions of them were shown. It would have given us a nice contrast before we see their present selves. Also, SIU was a bit lazy writing this arc, I suppose. He mainly focused on the main story for this. It's okay, I don't have a lot of issues with that. The thing that ticked me off a bit was Rachel, which was not a surprise considering she is my most hated character in the story now. She somehow managed to gain a temporary power and a beautiful body of a big breeder. It was showcased like a VR, sort of how you can make avatars in games. Obviously, Rachel chose a tall and beautiful elf lady to continue pestering everybody. Her initial plan was to get the thorn from Bam somehow, but it ended up being a goal to leave the floor with this Icarus body, further showcasing us Rachel's meek personality. Even Yuri was a bit surprised, but the fun parts end as Khun is tricked by Rachel and put into a coma. I don't know how Bam will react to this. Will he finally step out from the realm of Sims or become an even bigger Sim? We have to find out. But I must say that Khun is losing his touch of usefulness day by day. He's supposed to be the calm and level-headed smartest character, but he keeps getting outplayed by Rachel. First the workshop battle and now here. He did get a bit redemption on the floor of death, but that wasn't nearly enough for what Rachel has done. That's why Rachel's failure to return with the Icarus body was so satisfying to read. I won't be bothered if some random villager stomps on her and makes her suffer a gruesome death. That's the level of respect I have for her. Though it shows that she is a well-written character whom I love to hate. SAU himself stated that he enjoys writing Rachel's character. He probably feels good by making us hate her. What a nasty guy. Shifting our focus to one of the things that left my mouth hanging on the floor. Why does Wangnan and Yang Jahad look exactly the same? The same yellow hair, yellow eyes, say little teeth showing from his left side of the mouth, and finally those horns at the back of the hair. The exactly mirroring each other, and that's why I was confused when no one, I repeat, no one questioned the similarities. Even Bam when he fought Jahad, not for a single moment did he point out those things. Is it because young Jahad's data wears a cape and shorts? I doubt it. Though his eyes were covered by those three-eyed symbols, it broke at the end, so I hope this doesn't end up being a plot hole. That design of Jahad's data when he first showed up wasn't really that engaging. I mean, I was hoping for something epic. Well, let us just move on and focus on the next part, training. I think this is the first time we get an elaborate session of training the story. We got some explanations and small sessions here and there, but the last time we had something similar was when the God of Guardians taught Bam the Shinsu Black Hole Spear, Yuri and Ivan taught Indorsi and Khun respectively. This time our badass Papa Khun Edwan decides to give us some quality lessons. Not about being a womanizer of course, though he's famous for that on the outside. We learn about Shinsu quality and recognizing one's attribute. We explore Khun's character a bit as his own enemy being a sister had given us a flashback. But not all of it. I am expecting further exploration to Khun's character now that even Hansung Yu points out Khun's arrogance and pride. His protectiveness of Bam and his pride of denying his gifts from his family. He won't accept his extremely rare Shinsu quality being the ice bear just because he rejects his blood. We also learn about Rak a bit. Apparently he might be a descendant of an ancient. Khun Idwan informs us that there was an ancient giant at their time of climbing the tower. Later the giant split himself in 5 and descendants popped up from them. But Jahad seemed to have massacred and placed a curse on them. Seemingly Rak somehow survived that. And after a bit of research I found out this panel from chapter 1 seems like a similar being to our Rak. I wonder what their connection should be considering the links we are beginning to see. I won't be surprised if Tower of God is a story where history repeats itself. Also Wangnan's encounter with the talking sword was interesting. It said the same thing we heard about Jahad, the one with the seed of a king. It offered Wangnan power in exchange for killing one person. Maybe Bam, seems like it, but this was the last and first time we see him in this arc. Pretty disappointing. We also explored Khun Machini Jahad. Her battle with young Jahad was commendable. She fought to the extreme. Even young Jahad had to compliment her. And we finally get to know why Yura was traveling with Rachel. It was a nice contrast to add her backstory in this arc. Finally, she is doing something useful. Regarding the data of Urek's sworn enemy, it was okay in my case, because we already got to see Urek many times in the story. Also, it was funny to know that Urek was the one who destroyed the mirror, which was supposed to be indestructible. Now talking about the last fight between Bam and Young Jahad's data. The fight scenes and techniques were impressive and epic. Young Jahad was overpowering Bam at first, but our boy Bam pulled the obvious. I'm sure everyone could have guessed it, right? Well, horse with this insane transformation then. How do you grow horns like those? Not only Bam made use of the internal Shinsu quality with the Shinsu Black Hole Spear, he even ignited the thorn for the first time. Yang Jah's skills were also commendable. I mean, he's the king of the tower, so it should be. As the fight ends and Bam becomes the victor, Yang Jah decides to give that mysterious bracelet to Bam willingly. He wants to incite a new adventure again. He doesn't know what changed the current Jahad. Even Khun Edwan recounts about it. What fate did they achieve after climbing the tower that changed them? And right at that moment came the entry of the king. The first time in the 308 chapters we finally see the pinnacle of this tower. The one sitting on the throne, ruling over the tower, succumbed to his fate. King Jahad finally descends. The concept of the destiny between King Jahad and Bam was built up from the start of this season. That played out when the second thorn activated for the first time and teleported Bam during the period when King Jahad was planning to kill him. The OG boys Papa Khun and Young Jahad helped by obliterating the data world. Shown in revival for Batis and the others. I feel a bit sad there. The others escape safely as King Jahad states something interesting. He tells Young Jahad's data, who has lost his memory about the past quite a bit, of King Jahad's plans. He talks about placing his cruel fate under control as the panel now shifts to Wangnan. It is a bit interesting and I will talk about it in a possible theory video in the future. We see the end of the arc where 3 orders were issued. Eliminating Fag, killing everyone on the Hell Train and obliterating the Poi without family. Our boy Gastang is in trouble as he stole the bracelet by using the stingray. It's giving a massive war vibe here. I cannot wait to read the next arc. It will be the last for the season 2. This was a solid arc by the way. Anyhow, let us end the video here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Feel free to subscribe, like and share your opinions down in the comments below.